Hi, my name is Dr. Natalie Candela. I'm a hypnotherapist and a transformation coach. Welcome to my channel. You're about to listen to a recording of one of my regression sessions. Enjoy. I want you to tell me the very first thing that you see below you, or the very first impression that you have as you come down to the surface.
Very vague, but cobblestone streets.
Do you see anything along the cobblestone street?
Just like houses or stores or something.
Are they one-story houses or taller?
I think one story, maybe two.
Do you see any people around you?
When I first came, I felt like I was with a man and a boy, but I don't see them.
Okay, that's fine. What I'd like you to do is just bring your attention back to yourself and look down at where your feet are. And tell me what you see wearing on your feet.
Can't see my feet, but for whatever reason, the word bonnet keeps on coming in my mind. Like I'm wearing a bonnet.
Excellent. So just shift your attention, and as you think about the bonnet, I wonder if you will see what it looks like.
It's like blue or like white with blue pattern or something.
Is there anything on the bonnet?
I think it's pretty plain, but there's like a string of ties under my chin.
And so I wonder if you can now become more aware of your body and notice what you're wearing on your body.
Dress, I suppose. And white cotton. Keep seeing blue, navy blue.
Is there any pattern to it?
I think there might be small little flowers.
Are you carrying anything in your arms, or do you have anything else on
A
you?
basket.
And what's in the basket?
Seems like it's empty. Like I'm going shopping.
As you're heading towards your destination, your environment will begin to come into focus, almost like this static image begins to return to life. And so it will be easier for you to perceive what's happening around you. At this moment, are you standing or are you walking?
Standing, but there's movement around me, people walking around.
And can you see what they're dressed like?
Plainly, the men be like tan and white, just like shirt and pants or vests.
Are there women there too?
I'm sure there are. I can't see anyone in particular. It just seems like I'm in a place that has lots of people, like a market.
Become aware if you're there by yourself or if you're with someone.
I think I'm alone, but when I was floating down, I got this image of a woman, a man, and a boy. The woman in the bonnet, and a man and a boy, happy, smiling. The woman holding a basket. I think I'm that woman, but I don't see a man or boy with me.
Okay, and that's fine. Are you young or old?
Pretty young, I'd say early 30s.
Are you healthy?
Yeah.
So I want you to look around and become more aware of what is happening around you. Your senses will sharpen, things will come into focus. Just describe to me what you're experiencing around you.
Just sensing I'm in a market with food, like vegetables. People are selling things in like a square.
And what kinds of things do you see that maybe draw your attention?
Peppers.
Is that what you're going to buy?
I don't know. I just saw them smaller, like chili peppers. Like I'm not used to them. Like I'm wondering what they taste like.
Do you ask to taste them?
No, I feel like I'm too shy to.
Did you come there to shop?
I suppose, since I have an empty basket, but I don't know what I'm supposed to buy. Eggs just popped into my mind.
On the count of 3, you will move in time a little bit to the moment that you have completed whatever you came to the market for. 1, 2, and 3. Tell me what you're experiencing now.
Coming out into the sunlight, the market was kind of shaded.
Was it a covered area?
No, it was just a town that had, the streets were like alleys, so the sun couldn't get through.
I see. Are you outside of the market or outside of the town?
I feel like I'm outside of the town.
So just become aware of, did you purchase anything?
Maybe onions.
And how do you feel now that you're outside of town?
A bit lighter because it's lighter out, sunnier.
Do you feel that you like going to the market?
Yes.
Just become aware of where you're heading now.
I feel like I'm walking home.
So on the count of 3, I want you to see yourself standing in front of a place where you live. 1, 2, and 3. Tell me what you see.
A green door that's an arched doorway.
And you can take a few steps back so you can take in the bigger view.
I think it's like dark wood. Maybe it has 2 stories, windows, like an English home.
Are there other houses close to it or next to it, or is it standing alone?
I think it's standing alone.
So that green door or an arch, was that an entryway into the home?
Yeah, the front door.
So go ahead and enter the house. And as you're walking through it, just tell me what you see.
First thing was a table, wood table. There's 4 chairs, 2 on each side. It's rectangular. Some place for sitting, like chairs, but not much.
Do you see any other furniture?
Nope.
And do you have a sense that there is a second story to this house?
A sense. I don't see stairs or anything, but I just feel like it's the bottom floor.
And so just allow yourself to be transported. You will see yourself either on the second floor or wherever your sleeping arrangements are. And just tell me what you see.
Just a simple bed with the posts and a blanket. Simple room.
And how big is the bed?
2-person, like maybe queen size.
I want you to go outside of this room and notice if there is another room with a bed in it.
I think so.
Okay, and just go into that room and tell me what you see there.
It's like a smaller bed, baby boy's bed.
Do you see anything in the room besides the bed?
A dresser and like a mirror, but kind of old looking.
Now become aware of who lives in this house.
I'm not getting anything.
Okay. So when you look at this room that has a smaller bed, is that a child then?
Yeah, I think it's a boy's bedroom.
And how's this boy related to you?
I think he's my son.
And in a moment, if it is appropriate, he's going to run into the room. And when you see him, you will get a greater sense of connection and a greater sense of remembrance. And so when you see him, just let me know.
I see him.
And tell me what he looks like.
He's a good-looking boy with a huge smile. Just smiles, lights up his whole face. He's got light brown hair, straight, kind of longish, not too long. Clean cut. Good boy.
And about how old is he?
5 or 6. And he just looks at me and smiles.
And do you ask him where he's been?
Playing, he said, outside.
Become aware of your husband and where he is. And if he's around, he'll just call out to you or walk into the room as well.
I feel like he's outside.
So I'd like you to go outside so you can just say hello to him.
Mm-hmm.
And as you walk outside, does your son follow you?
Yeah, I think.
Mm-hmm. Where do you see your husband?
I think there's a fence around the house, and he's inside the fence, and I walked out the front door, so I'm outside the fence. And he's doing something. I don't know what.
Can you go and approach him and greet him?
I have to find a door to get into the fence.
And it will just become apparent to you where it is.
Yeah. Okay, so I go in, just walk over, and he's engrossed in whatever he's doing. I can't see his face. I just kind of see his back bent over.
Do you say anything to him? Do you let him know you're there?
Yeah, he knows I'm there.
And what's his reaction?
Sort of neutral, like he's still doing what he's doing, and I'm just standing there waiting for him to be done.
While you're waiting, become aware of what both of you do during the day. How do you occupy your time?
I think I just take care of shopping for food, the market, and cooking and cleaning. And he's a farmer. We farm, or I don't know. I felt like he was making butter, like churning.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that's just what everybody does, or if that's what he does for work. It might just be for ourselves. I keep trying to look for his face, but I can't see it. He's still doing something. Not that he's ignoring me, he's just wrapped up in whatever he's doing. And he's got to finish it. That's why he's not really talking to me.
And how do you feel about him?
I feel like he's a good man.
How do you feel about your life?
Happy, content.
Good. So on the count of 3, you're going to see yourself having a meal. 1, 2, and 3. And tell me what you're noticing.
Seems just to be him and the boy, and we're talking about the day or the neighbors or something. Just a normal conversation.
Are you at a table?
Yeah, that rectangular table. And he's across from me and the boy's beside me.
Okay. And describe to me what you're eating.
Some type of meat and potatoes and a vegetable maybe. Simple.
And if you look around, you will notice where it was cooked.
I don't see like a kitchen. I just get a sense that it was in a pot over fire or something.
As you're talking over dinner, what is the atmosphere like? How do you all feel?
Again, just happy and content. Seems like we live a simple life and everything's very clean and orderly. Nothing's out of place. Like if we have flowers outside the front door, under the windows, they're very neat and pretty and well cared for. The fence I was talking about earlier is perfectly straight, perfectly painted, like we just built it.
Was it just built?
It seems like it, recently anyway, because it looks new. But it could just be well maintained. I feel like my husband is very good at taking care of anything to do with the yard or the property.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we live at the bottom of a mountain, not a very large one, just that there's mountains around. I just feel like it's a wood house at the bottom of a mountain.
Mm-hmm. And do you have a lot of land around the house that's yours?
A fair amount.
What do you do on this land?
I think we farm. Maybe have horses or something. Goats. I don't know. I get the sense that it's like a little farm. Really just for us, you know. We may sell beef or eggs or something like that.
Where do you get the money to live on? Is it from the farm or do you do something else?
Must be the farm. I don't see us going anywhere and doing anything outside of the house except for going to get what we need from the market. I think that's why I saw a flash of the three of us walking to the market and smiling. It's kind of a cheesy image, you know, like the perfect family. Happy, content, simple. There's a definite sense of simplicity and contentment that is very foreign to me.
Mm-hmm. On the count of 3, I want you to travel to the next significant event in this life. 1, 2, and 3. Tell me what's happening.
I feel like I'm alone, nothing around me. I feel like I'm kneeling, I'm sitting back on my feet.
Mm-hmm. And are you inside or outside?
Outside.
So just become aware of what is immediately around you.
It's grass or something. Now I feel like I'm sitting on the side of the road, like a gravel road, just sitting in the grass by myself.
And how do you feel as you're sitting there by yourself?
I think I'm sad. Not depressed, not totally in mourning, just sad. But I don't know why.
And it will come to you as you just allow that awareness to come up to the surface.
I just feel like I'm all alone, like that boy and that man's gone.
What happened to them?
I don't know.
What are you doing sitting there? Is it just to be by yourself?
I guess so. Or maybe I have nowhere to go. I don't know. Just sitting there for some reason.
And how long have you been by yourself? How long have they been gone?
Doesn't seem recent. It doesn't seem too far away. So I would say At least a few months.
Okay. So when I count to 3, we're going to...
I'm getting a headache. I don't know if that means anything. I'm getting physically a headache, but it just seems like it goes along with the sadness.
Right. And in which part of your head is the headache?
The top.
So,
I just feel sad and alone. Like I have no family.
So in a moment when I count to 3, we're just going to roll the time back to when something happened to your family. 1, 2, and 3. Just become aware of what's happening.
Not getting anything.
Get a sense if they are close to you, if you're all together, or if you're separated from them somehow.
I feel like I'm separated from them.
Become aware of where you are.
I think I'm at the house, like outside of it, but they're not there anymore.
Okay.
But I don't think they would have left me. They loved me. I don't remember seeing anyone taking them away, but for whatever reason, they're not there.
There will be as though a fog lifting, and information will become more and more available to you, as though a memory gently returning. And you will become aware of what happened to lead to this moment when they're no longer there.
I don't feel like they got sick. I just feel like I lost both of them at the same time. I don't know if there was an accident or it just seems like they disappeared.
Did they travel somewhere?
Perhaps. But they left and they never came back.
So as I count to 3, there will be some clarity available to you, almost like a window opens into the divine realms and information is revealed to you. This may be information that you never knew on a human level, and now you're able to access it. 1, 2, and 3. So just allow the images to begin to form, or the feeling, or the knowing.
I just keep hearing the phrase love and loss. It feels like that's what that life was about. Loving and then losing. It's not that I didn't savor every moment. In fact, I think I really did. I didn't want to be moving anywhere else. I didn't want to be with anybody else. I just wanted to be with them. But then I did lose them. So nothing lasts forever. I guess it's a message.
Just allow yourself to be pulled in a direction that is unknown to you yet. But you're going to be taken to the place and time where they met at the end of their life, if that came.
Yeah, just sense that they were traveling somewhere by horse and like a cart. And they went somewhere and they must have had an accident. I don't know what kind.
And so you never found them?
I don't think so. I must have just been told. I don't know.
Can you become aware of where they went, why your husband needed to travel?
There was a purpose. Like they were going to get something we needed, pick up something. Must have been in another town, and on their way there or on their way back, somehow they had an accident.
Become clearer on what it is that they needed to pick up and why.
Animals, livestock for the farm.
Were you doing well then on the farm?
We were always doing well.
Okay. And so just allow those images to fade And on your next breath, you will feel a powerful feeling of relief flowing through your body, releasing that sensation of sadness. And just bringing a sense of peace and comfort all through your body. And as I count to 3, you will move to the next significant event in that life. 1, 2, and 3. And tell me what's happening.
Nothing. I don't feel like I'm there anymore. I'm not seeing anything.
Okay. What if you can just imagine that as you left the body, you're floating up and you're looking back down at the body. Do you have that image in mind?
Mm-hmm.
And tell me what you see.
I'm just laying in a bed and I'm older. I don't see anybody but me.
And about how old do you think that body is?
Late 50s.
Okay. So as you look back at that life and at the body that you just left behind, what are the feelings or thoughts that come to you?
I don't think it's particular to me in that life, but that the only way to love or find love, know love, is being with other people. And when they're gone, it's kind of like empty.
And so as you become more aware of the soul's purpose for that experience, what comes to you?
I just wanted to learn or to experience love and contentment, and that it doesn't take much to have that. You don't need a lot of fancy clothes or house or travels abroad. You can be happy just at your home and living on a farm with 2 other people, and that's your world. And you can be happy with just that.
And as you're reviewing that lesson and understanding the bigger picture of that experience, you're going to notice that you're being approached by 2 entities that are coming to greet you and welcome you back.
It's that.
And how do they look?
Very happy. Holding hands.
How do you greet each other?
Family hug.
And perhaps they have something to say to you, or maybe explain to you even what happened, if it's appropriate.
Just that I needed to experience a contrast between love and nothing to really understand what love is, and that on earth it can be there one day, gone the next. And that's part of our experience of being human. Love is always there, but if you don't have someone to share it with, it's not much fun.
You can give them thanks now that they helped you experience that and learn that. And I want you to become aware of the connection that you have with them. Does it go beyond that particular lifetime? Are they part of your soul family? Do they travel with you?
I don't think so. I think they were there just for that life.
Okay. And is there anybody else that comes forward to greet you?
Seeing my gramps from this life, my mother's father.
Mm-hmm. If he would like to give you a hug and give you a message, then he's welcome to do that.
He's just smiling at me, just saying like it's all good. Did a good job.
Mm-hmm.
He pat me on the back and kind of hugging me. He's a good soul.
Mm-hmm. Say goodbye to them for the moment, knowing that you could return and interact with them at another time. As you continue your journey and allow those images to fade away, You feel yourself being pulled in another direction as you begin sending it gentle, soft relaxing shivers through your pulsates gently. You feel every nerve this time that are floating and asking your heart to another time that is relevant that are on your mind to flow in that direction. The most appropriate time as you begin that is relevant to feel yourself drifting to examine. Tell me the first thing that you see below you.
First thing that came to my mind was Mars, red desert, like a desert.
So what is the feeling that you get as you're looking at that?
Solo, there's nobody else around, just me.
So what do you see around you?
Kind of looks like Mars. Red, deserty, some hills, but mostly flat.
And when you look down at where your feet might be, what do you notice?
Bare feet.
And then bring your attention to the body. And what do you notice?
No clothing, just bare.
And is it a male body or a female body?
Seems androgynous.
Is there anything else you have on the body? Anything at all?
Not that I can see.
And does it seem young or old?
Neither.
Become more aware of the body and tell me if it seems human or if it's different.
I don't see anything really. I just feel like I'm a form. Like a lanky form.
Is it a physical form?
I think so. I just keep getting this image and it's almost like our consciousness outside of the form. I feel like I'm separate from the form. It's like a form standing in the middle of a wasteland that looks like Mars.
And is the consciousness next to it?
Outside of it, like maybe 20 feet away, looking at it from its side. So it's to my right, just standing there, and I'm just looking at it.
As you're looking at it, what comes to you?
Nothing. No feeling.
And is this form animated?
I think it moves. I mean, it can move, but it's not moving.
Is there a connection or a relationship between you and this form?
I don't think so.
Are you just visiting and looking at it?
Mm-hmm.
And where did you come from?
No idea. That's where I just landed. I was there when I landed.
So I wonder if you can approach it and see if you can interact with it and just get a greater understanding of what this form is doing there.
Now I feel like it's older. Like, it has long gray hair. I don't think it's human. I'm not getting a message from it. It's just kind of standing there, looking off in the distance.
And so go look where it's looking in that direction, see if you notice anything.
There's a light, kind of like a sunset or sunrise. It doesn't hurt to look at it. I think it might go down like a sunset.
And so as you look at that, does it bring up any thoughts, feelings, emotions, awareness?
It's just similar to the other time. If there's only one entity, whatever you call it, there's a single sort of old man staring off into the sunset, but he's got absolutely no expression, no happiness, no sadness either, but just giving me the feeling that the last thing I want is to live a solitary life. Because it's no way to live, it's not living.
So I wonder if you can allow yourself to merge with him, step into him, or if you can engage in some sort of interaction with him, and you will know what feels right.
I can't engage with him. He's not aware of me. He doesn't know I'm there. There's no way to access him. So I'll try to merge with him. Either I'm not merged with him, or if I am, I just don't feel anything. There's no feeling at all. There's nothing. It's all barren.
Is this a place where he resides, where he lives?
It seems like, yeah, that's just where he is for the rest of his time. I mean, I feel bad for him, but he's almost like a robot in a way where he's been there for so long that he's lost all feeling, communication.
And can you become aware if he is alone there? Or
He's totally alone. It's a completely barren place.
And how did he end up there?
Seems like he's been there forever. And he'll be there forever. Just standing alone, staring at the sunset. Not a happy life. Not a fun existence at all.
Can you ask him if there was a reason why he is there?
He just says to experience aloneness, solitude.
So is that the experience that he chose for himself to grow from?
I guess. I don't know who would choose it, but...
What is your reason for visiting him there?
It just feels like I'm there to learn again that you need other life forms, you need other people, especially people like you. Whatever form it is, you need others around you or you're basically dead. You're non-existent without others. Like this man is just non-existent. And that's all there is. It's a very simple message. When you're by yourself, life can be very sad and lonely and boring. And there's no reason to be there.
So I wonder if you ask him before you go away if there's anything that you can do for him, because you're not there accidentally.
I think it's just to end his experience. He wants to move on.
And how would you do that?
It seems like I should just touch him and he turns to dust.
And are you willing to do that for him?
Yes.
With love?
Yes.
Okay, so when he's ready, go ahead and do that and send him off with love so he can return to where he belongs. And so what happens?
I asked him if he was ready and he, for the first time, smiled and like, hell yeah. And then I touched him and he was gone.
And how does it feel for you?
I feel better. I helped him and then I didn't leave him there by himself to carry on for who knows how long. And then he could go on and grow because he wasn't growing there.
And so just allow that to stay with you, that feeling of release, of letting go, of closing a chapter that is finished. That when something is ready to be done and let go of, it doesn't have to be painful or dramatic. That when a lesson is learned, you can simply touch it and it's gone. And you can move on, experience joy again, experience connection again. Does it feel right to leave that place?
Yeah, there's nothing else there.
And so as you allow all of those images to fade away, I want all of the consciousness and personality of Maureen to once again return and fully integrate into her body. Now ask to speak with Maureen's higher consciousness. I know that it has a record of everything that happened to Maureen in this lifetime and all the other lifetimes and experiences. So I respect its power, and I always ask for permission to speak to it and ask questions. Do I have your permission to ask questions?
Yes.
I know that you could have brought forth many different lifetimes for Maureen to see today, but you chose a woman on a farm and this desolate planet with the being that she encountered. Can you tell us why you brought those two lifetimes forward?
Because they show what solitude does to you. You don't learn anything if you're alone. I mean, you can read books, take walks on the beach and be alone, but that's just rest. What you're on earth to do is to experience love and other human beings and all of life. Never think that being alone is going to make you happy, because it will do the opposite.
In this current life, Maureen feels like she hasn't really experienced deep, true love. Can you help her understand why that is and how it relates to previous experiences?
She needs to learn that you've got to let love in and not to push it away or come up with reasons why not to love. Any love that she comes across is good, any type, whether it's friendship or romantic. She doesn't need to try, doesn't need to worry about it, because it's just there if she looks for it.
And how would she know if it's true? Is there a sensation you can give her, a feeling, a knowing?
Yes. It's just a knowing. No doubt.
And does it feel anxious or peaceful?
Very peaceful.
Thank you. She has had 2 long-term relationships in this life, and they both followed a similar pattern in which she was the provider. Can you help her understand why that is the pattern that she experienced in this life?
It was out of fear, low self-worth, low self-esteem. She aims too low because she's safe there, and she's never going to find true love unless she aims higher, expects more, and opens her heart.
And her fear, is it related to the life where she lost her family?
Not so much. That was for just contrast, to show her that living alone and living with those that you love, there's no comparison. The fear she feels now is due to early trauma with love, or what she thought was love. She has romantic visions, and if it's not perfect, she doesn't want it. And of course, nothing is ever perfect, but you can get close. And so you shouldn't settle for less than you know you are worth.
And the relationship that she's in now, is that taking her in the right direction?
It's not for long term. It's a bridge, and also to help him with the same issues.
What can we do right now to help her close the door to this pattern of fear and low expectations? What needs to be cleared or healed, or any vision you can give her that will help the next connection that she makes to be of a different quality.
As she knows, you can't love someone until you love yourself. You need to spend time on yourself, not alone. You can only learn more about yourself through other people. So don't hide. Get out there and do things, meet people and interact as much as you can. And always be honest upfront about what you want from them. Ask them what they want from you. Not necessarily in those words, but always be open and honest. Value integrity. You've been living lies. You've lied to yourself and you've lied to others for too long.
She experiences a lot of self-sabotage, where she stops herself from doing things that either will lead her to success or to a completion of a project or to even doing things that might be good for her. Can you help her understand why she does that?
Fear, of course. It's always fear.
What is she afraid of?
Not really anything. It's almost like she makes things up. Part of it is negative energy of people who've been around her, but she knows the feeling she gets when things aren't right and there's negative energy. So just avoid that negative energy and focus on what makes you happy and only focus on that. But you have to leave all that behind.
So I wonder if you can help me build a powerful protective field around her that will help her clear away and keep away the negative energy. As I touch her left hand, the wall of light and energy begins to form around her entire being. It would be there to cleanse the energy that comes through to her and bounce back things that are not healthy for her. I wonder if you can just give her a powerful image of that. Does she have that feeling and sensation?
Yes, she knows that it's gold and white, and that's why she likes fairy lights so much. The white Christmas lights, but the warm gold hue. And so she just pictures that. That will be her protection.
Beautiful. And will that help to reduce the behaviors that are holding her back?
She has to be aware because she gets wrapped up in all of her day things and chaos. And that's why she needs to meditate and, of course, walk in nature to clear her mind.
I want to ask about the depression, anxiety that she has been dealing with for many, many years. We know the relationship that she experienced around her college years might have triggered it. I'm wondering if there is any other reason for it.
She needs to be able to let her light shine, and she's been going at things the wrong way. She thought that her looks would bring her love, but love brings beauty. And for most of her life, she has been very hard on herself and cared way too much what other people think of her. And if she would have just worked on herself, then people would naturally like her and be drawn to her. But she had to go through that. That's what she's supposed to learn in this life. So she has finally learned that, and she needs to keep remembering and instill that into her consciousness, her life, and always carry something around that says you're beautiful no matter what.
And as she becomes more aware of it, will that begin to dispel that feeling of depression?
Yes, the more she does what brings her joy, it will just fade away, because the reason why it's there is because she's not following what makes her happy and who makes her happy, and not working at both for her living and in her relationships.
So that brings me to the question about her work. She's very successful at what she does, but it doesn't bring her joy. And for many, many years, she's been thinking about starting her own business. Can you make the connection for her for why she's been delaying it for so long, and is this the right path for her?
It's definitely the right path for her. She's only not done it because of fear. She looks for fear. It's her MO. She takes comfort in it, almost, even though it makes her miserable. And she's at a point in her life where she can be aware of it and pivot to what she knows will bring her joy, and just always focus on joy. And if she gets depressed and anxious, all she has to do is look around and think about what she's been doing lately, and the answers will be there as to what not to do anymore. She knows, she just has to do it. She could use rest though, maybe 2 weeks, like a vacation, but not going somewhere. She shouldn't travel for this rest. She should stay close to home, but she does need to be in solitude for that. Then when she's recharged and cleared negativity out, then she can join the world again.
So she does wonder, or worry, I suppose, if she needs to work harder. Is that the answer that you're giving her to that question?
Yes, so she will be working very hard, but she will enjoy the work, and so it will give her more energy, where now she works very hard and it saps her energy, and that's the whole problem. So rest, clear negativity, clear your mind, start exercising and taking care of yourself, and focus just on that at first, and then once you feel strong enough, you'll be ready.
She has an issue with disorganization. She feels like she lives in chaos and she needs to get organized, but yet she procrastinates and she can't get organized. Is there a connection between that and just her self-sabotage in general?
Absolutely. Yes, it's her way of keeping herself down. It's like the negative relationships. She works to build chaos around her so that she doesn't have to grow and take risks. So she needs to simplify and get rid of anything that is not needed and does not give her joy. True joy. She doesn't need a lot of things. She could simplify her life tremendously.
You mentioned fear a number of times. Can you give her some awareness of perhaps a lifetime where this fear began to develop? Where is the source of this fear that pervades her experience now?
Yes, most of the fear comes from this lifetime, and it's abandonment related. She has that fear of abandonment, of being alone. When she was a child, she was very timid and shy and feared being lost and left, like she was lost on the beach. She thought she was. She couldn't find anyone. It was probably just a minute, but it seemed like an hour to her that she found her mom. No one made a big deal out of it. It just stems from a natural human thing to begin with, and it's what she's here to learn. She clings to it for safety, but she's not here to live a safe life.
What kind of life is she here to live?
An extraordinary one, just like she wants. She has a lot of work to do, and she needs to get doing it. She's finally learned with this last relationship that fear is all just wasting time now. She's learned the lesson. She needs to move on and live that life that she's always dreamed about. And if she doesn't, then she'll someday do it. Another lifetime. But she's got the chance to do it here.
If she lives that extraordinary life and she does take risks and she learns to love herself, is that what will help her live a more enjoyable life and live with love, integrity, freedom?
Absolutely.
These are her core values.
Yes.
I want you to help her go back for a moment to that time with her family when she was alone for a minute, and that generated a lot of powerful energy of fear.
It's the same, the woman, first life.
The same feeling.
Same feeling, yes. She had love, and then it was gone. So when she was young and lost on the beach, she thought that her love was cut off because she lost her family.
So it reawakened that.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so then
that's why.
The initial point was in that life.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if you can just wrap her around, because as a higher self, you probably can appear like a beautiful, powerful angel.
I have.
And so if you can wrap her in your arms and just let her feel the powerful love and connection to such an extent that it melts the fear, like if it were a chunk of ice, it would just melt it until it dissipates and disappears. So that instead of fear, she feels deep, powerful love that never truly disappears, does it?
No. I'm always here. I always have been.
As she lets go of that fear of loss and remembers that love is always there, it will help her to begin to heal in other areas of her life.
Yes.
Thank you. And so that healing, if it needs to continue, it will continue even after today's session. Now, before we finish, I want you to do a body scan. I want you to start at the top of her body and go all the way to the bottom. And tell me if there's anything you see that's out of balance or needs attention. Just let me know as you're going through the scan.
Hormonal imbalance. That causes the moodiness. So, endocrine system needs to be balanced.
Can you help her right now begin to balance it?
I can help, and relaxation and meditation will help too.
So do the work right now that you can, and continue doing it for as long as it needs to be done, even after the session.
Yes.
And tell me what you're doing right now.
It's energy through almost like veins, but it's more energetic. Fibers, like opening those and getting them flowing freely.
Is it throughout her body or in any particular part?
Mainly between the head and stomach, right below solar plexus. It all travels through the entire area.
Okay, and as you continue doing that, can you also continue with the scan?
Digestion, of course, she knows. But it will resolve itself. When she starts and continues to move toward love and light, it's not anything physical. Again, it's the energy stuck. She's been stuck for a long time.
So constipation is a symbol of what?
Exactly, yes. It's being stuck, not moving. So to come back to whether she should work harder, yes, but don't worry. It's not going to feel like work once it starts happening. It'll all be worth it, and things will get moving, literally and figuratively.
Okay, as you continue with the scan, is there anything else?
I want to say kidneys, but I don't think there's anything wrong necessarily. Make sure to not do anything that hurts them. She needs to plan her meals so she knows that she's getting enough of everything that she needs to get.
It may be related. She always has thirst, almost unquenchable thirst.
Mm-hmm. It's all related. It has to do with her neglect of herself because she's so worried about others. Not only what they think, but how she can help them. And once she focuses on herself properly, then all of her bodily problems will resolve.
Good. So how is the work on balancing the hormones going?
I've done what I can do.
What's the percentage that you've been able to accomplish?
70%. She needs to do the rest.
Okay. Is there anything else that you see in the scan, or is it complete?
It's complete.
Thank you very much. So before we let you go, I'd like to give you another opportunity to send a message directly to her. Anything that you want to say to her, you can go ahead.
Carry on with what you know to be true, and I'll be here. We'll all be here to help you. You have a choice, and I hope you choose to live an extraordinary life.
Thank you. So now I'm asking the higher consciousness to recede to where it belongs, with much love and thanks for the help and information that it has given Maureen today. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the session. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you click on the bell, you will be notified of any of my future postings. Thank you. Bye.